never doubted this club for a second. Hello and welcome to Gooner Gathering. I am the poshest man in sports entertainment, Posh Bertie, aka Bertie Brainless, as I'm called now on Twitter by people. And I am joined by the one, the only, Mr. Gooner Lee Meads. Gooner Lee Meads, how relieved / stressed / what the hell just happened are you at the moment?
As I said in our WhatsApp group, mate, it's never in doubt. It's never a problem.
Absolutely. Oh my good lord. I mean,
It's the best way I can respond to it, in all fairness.
like I said when Partey hit the bar against Tottenham, goodness gracious, great balls of fire. What a
well put.
Interesting game that was. Now, I will be brutally honest with you because I am an honest man. I've only seen Bournemouth's first goal. I'm technically going to kind of do a live reaction to the highlights because I've got them on another tab.
Interesting.
So this is going to be a proper reaction to the game in a way.
Live reaction to the delayed highlights. That's incredible.
Absolutely.
I don't know if it's been done.
I don't know, but the reason being, I've just got home from seeing my second favourite team, the mighty Ebbsfleet United. I would say it's not a highlight. It was 0-0 and it was really boring. And our opponents, Hemel Hempstead, parked the bus and were very negative and wasted time a lot. So it wasn't really a highlight, if I'm honest with you. I would rather be at the Emirates. I knew someone who was who I used to go to school with who was at the game.
Very nice indeed.
Anyway, so let's. I think we should get down to business. So I was at Ebbsfleet. I didn't think that we'd get a goal in like the first few seconds or something. That would be ridiculous, right? Anyway, Bournemouth get a goal. I get a notification on my phone as soon as Ebbsfleet kick off. Goal, Arsenal 0, Bournemouth 1. After billing after 1 minute, to which I thought, hang on,
live reaction? Sorry, Posh. Sorry, really sorry to do this to you. Really big goal has just happened in the Premier League, and it's for Southampton against Leicester.
Ooh.
Literally just happened right in front of my eyes. We are live at this moment. I can see Maitland-Niles is right in the middle of it.
That's
I'm just going to see. Exactly, but I don't think it's him who scored it. But let's see if I can talk you through it. So this is a massive game. We are, if I just wander in, about 35 minutes gone in Southampton versus Leicester. Looks well onside, and the through pass is through. It's a great finish. I'm just trying to get the scorer's name. Yeah, it's not a problem. That's 1-0. 1-0 or Southampton.
I could have made a wrestling reference there, but Nathan Jones is not the Southampton manager anymore, so I can't.
He's not, unfortunately.
Anyway, so
I'll get you the score in just a second, but I think it's probably right to before we start anything, just to go with the starting line that I've just put up. There's 3
I'm very
changes.
sorry. This is proper. I've just got home, all over the place at the moment.
Listen, everyone in the chat, this is so impromptu. We weren't even going to go live until Monday.
No, this was meant to be. I was meant to do reactions at this time if we lost, because I was going to be ranting and raving like there was no tomorrow, and it was going to be one of the most entertaining videos you've ever seen. But
absolutely was.
But sadly, we won, and I didn't want that to
sadly
happen. No.
We'll get into it. We'll get into it. So we had 3 changes from the starting 11.
Yes.
Tomiyasu at right back. We had Vieira in for Xhaka. So that was an interesting call. And who was the other change? It was Partey for Jorginho.
Partey.
That's confirmation. That's confirmation. It's 1-0 to Southampton. I'm going to get the goal scorer as soon as I can.
Made his first full start since his injury, which is good to see. I did expect to see somewhat of a few players coming in as we've got a Europa League game coming up, rather important Europa League game coming up. So I did expect a few bits of rotations here and there. The likes of Tomiyasu coming in and maybe a different midfielder. Fabio Vieira unexpectedly, but I'm pleased to see him start. Yes, sir.
Alcaraz is the scorer for Southampton. 37 minutes on the clock now. That's his second goal for Southampton for the Argentinian.
Okay.
live updates. We're going to do chat along as well as a review.
This is
This
an
has never been done
channel.
before.
I'm not. I'll be honest with you. I'm not
Assist
watching
from Adams.
Okay.
Don't worry, I'll keep with it. I'll keep with it. Don't worry. So
I'm more focusing on the
we'll
Arsenal match. I'm honest with you. But
yeah, absolutely. So we'll go with the Arsenal side. I expected some rotation. Absolutely, I did. And I was excited to see the starting 11. It looked like an attacking 11 for me. To see, I mean, I understood Xhaka being rested. Absolutely, I did. Because I think as a lot of us did, he looked a little bit jaded. And I was quite excited to see Fabio Vieira start. Unfortunately, obviously we're going live at, we're now 8 minutes past 6. We have literally I've seen about 3 minutes worth of highlights from Sky on YouTube. So it's general play. I don't know how well he played, but
yeah, I think I'm mainly
be
going
that as
to
it may,
I'm going to mainly talk about the
as
goals. Yeah. Go on.
Carry on, Bosch. Carry on, Bosch.
No, I just said I'm talking about the goals, but be that as it may.
Yeah. So we got the starting 11 in, and we're just about taking our seats. If we're lucky enough to actually see the game, which I wasn't because I was at work.
No, I said off camera. I knew someone back during my school days who was at the game. Very lucky devil, but the last Arsenal game I went to was in 2018, and it was the 2-2 draw against Chelsea in the Premier League.
Oh wow, nice.
Anyway, that's a fun fact of the day there. So we took our seats. It was all fine. I was at a different football match, obviously, and notification on my phone when every game just kicks off. Arsenal 0, Bournemouth 1. 9 seconds in.
Yeah, wasn't great, was it?
Okay. Yeah. So I'm watching the replay here. Just kicks it off the bat. Cross comes in. Was that 29 Billings? Totally unmarked for Bournemouth.
Yeah, Philip Billings, totally unmarked.
Yeah, wasn't not good at all. And to which I thought, right, our supposed rivals, Man City, beat this team 4-0 at Bournemouth's ground, and we're losing 1-0 inside 9 seconds at home. Yeah, that doesn't really that doesn't really scream title winners to me from what I gathered there. And I thought, if this continues, we're gonna get a nice juicy video on Gooner Gathering of me ranting a lot, because you've not seen what a posh Bertie rant, a proper posh Bertie rant is like. You will be in for a treat if it happens one day.
Never in doubt, mate. So let me tell you, I have an interesting stat for everybody at home. So that was the second fastest goal in Premier League history.
When William Regal lost to Spike Dudley. That's how quick it was.
So as soon as you said that, everyone's gone. I remember this though. The power of the punch, mate. It's what it's all about.
I mentioned Spike Dudley and we get no viewers.
Doesn't matter. We'll keep on going because people might carry on and watch us on demand, which is what it's all about. YouTube game. We'll carry on. It's not a problem. It was not a great goal from our point of view. Ball came in from the right hand side and it was literally unchallenged. And the goal scorer was Philip Billing, a player I would probably identify early doors as actually a very, very dangerous player for Bournemouth. He's been a very consistent player for a long while now, and that's a real shame that anyone who might have put Zinchenko in for their fantasy football side, all of a sudden their clean sheets have gone very, very quickly.
Absolutely not a good start at all. I'm watching a highlight here. Odegaard has a bit of a chance there, saved by Neto, the Bournemouth keeper, but it doesn't come to anything. We seem to have had more of the ball in the first half. We seem to have a lot more chances there, but
you think
possession doesn't mean anything.
Tell me. I mean, you put it in our WhatsApp group, Bosch. So the guys in the chat and anyone who might see this later, totally impromptu stream. We have not got scripts. We have got nothing. We literally spoke to each other about
So
2
it's
minutes
just like a
before gone
typical
live.
Gooner gathering video then.
Exactly. So,
Mm.
so we are literally jumping in with nothing behind us.
Mm.
And you say we had this chance with nothing going our way, pretty much.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I've totally gone off track. I've totally forgotten what I was going to say. So never mind.
We had more of the ball, but like I said,
Yes,
it doesn't matter. People are only
85% or more.
Yeah,
85% possession or
it was
more.
almost one-way traffic, but Bournemouth were winning. And I
Yeah.
said, look, the scoreline is the only thing that matters at the end of the day. Possession doesn't get you points.
It doesn't.
But and I said, look, if this continues, it doesn't matter how well we played despite the loss. If we lose to Bournemouth, that's a terrible result at home,
Yeah.
and we're supposed to be challenging for the league. All due respect to Bournemouth, they haven't been the most lethal team this season. With all greatest respect, our supposed rivals for the title, Man City, beat them 4-0 in their own backyard. And so if we're going to challenge the team, we've got to do something. We've got to beat them as well. And it took 9 seconds, and we were losing to them. It wasn't good. And despite the fact we had more of the ball, it doesn't count because we still lost going into half time. And that was disappointing. And this was the point where I said, "Oh, you were going to say something? Go on."
I'll let you finish. I'll carry on.
Okay.
You go.
This is the point. Trossard got injured. Well, Trossard was substituted. He got substituted very early on, so it must have been an injury. To which Emil Smith-Rowe came on. Sure, great to see Smith-Rowe playing, but we now don't have hardly any strikers. Yes, you could say Martinelli, but apart from that, we've got no strikers. And I said in January that we needed to get a striker. We needed to get a striker. Jesus is injured. People had their doubts over Nketiah. I gave him a chance, and now his magic seems to have gone away. He's injured now. And now Trossard, the guy who can technically play as a striker, he's now injured too. We have hardly any striker, if not no striker at all. And I said on Twitter, this is down to Edu. Edu, as the director of football, he is responsible for doing the negotiations, trying to convince a player to come to Arsenal. As a director of football, that's their job. And it was his job to get us. And I said, we needed a striker because Jesus is out. We needed a striker that can cover for him. If Nketiah won't do his job, which for a few games, Nketiah was scoring, I get that. But again, it's not a striker you'll be playing all these games for. And we should have got a player like João Felix. But he didn't. He suddenly out of nowhere went to Chelsea.
I think this is where we really disagree, mate. And you know what? And that's healthy. That's healthy because it makes interesting discussion.
That was down to Edu, and because I had the nerve, I had the temerity to criticise my own club for losing to Bournemouth. I got so much stick on Twitter for being negative towards my own team. Look at the scoreline. We're losing to Bournemouth. We've got no striker. You're blaming it on Edu. Yeah. Oh, why are you blaming Edu? Because it's his job as the director of football to get a good striker for us, and he didn't. And now all our strikers are injured. That's now down to Edu because we don't have a great. We got no strikers now.
Yeah. I get you.
And because of that, I'm a brainless person because I can blatantly see that we've got no striker when we should have got one in January.
Yeah, and I get you. I listen. I do understand. I get your frustration. This is why, Posh, I keep away from Twitter normally during the old match. Right. The only thing I did on Twitter, if you don't mind me finishing, is the only thing I did during the whole match. You might not have seen it because I know you were at the Ipswich game, right? Was the gif of Santino Morella saying I wasn't ready when the Bournemouth goal went in, right?
I saw that.
And anyone who's a regular viewer,
angry to find that funny, I'm afraid.
Exactly. I thought you might, but listen. So this is why I keep away largely from social media during during the live matches.
Yeah.
And
You get the
you know,
keyboard warriors are at it.
exactly, right? I mean, I've dealt with enough of them during the week, but that's another story for another time, perhaps. But even as and yeah, it was a really sloppy start from Arsenal. Literally an unchallenged right wing cross that was put in from a really capable player, Philip Billing. Dreadful start. And you mentioned the striker situation, right?
Yeah.
I don't think, it's we started today with
Trossard's more of a
Trossard.
winger than a striker, let's be honest, isn't he? He's more of a centre forward.
Well, he's
one of those
played
positions
striker
where
for Bournemouth
second best
as well.
position.
He's played number 9 for Bournemouth before. He's played kind of a false 9
Brighton
in the previous game. Yeah, I said Trossard.
You said Bournemouth. He played for Brighton.
Look, I've got Bournemouth on the brain. I've had a couple of beers. Leave me alone.
Oh, okay.
I didn't.
We need a few.
I had.
We need a few beers after that. Watching that game.
I had absolutely no intention of going live tonight, boys and girls. But I am for the Gooner Gatherers. So
the Goons.
All right, let me rewind. So right, so 1-0 after 9 seconds from Philip Billing, and really poor from us.
Yes.
However, I'm going to bring it on a little bit. Arsenal responded pretty well. They got a couple of shots in, well saved by Neto, the goalkeeper. I know you might not have seen it. It's not on the Sky highlights. I've seen it on Score Centre. Literally, full disclosure. I think we wanted to go live because it's right in the moment, kind of hit it while it's hot, right?
Yeah,
but
and also
like you say,
I suggested it if we lost, but the script has been like Vince McMahon before Raw. The script's been ripped up.
Quite rightly so as well. I can give you a little bit on Trossard as well. It appears that he's got a groin injury. That's the situation with him, and that's why they are going to assess him. And Emil Smith-Rowe, after playing 45 minutes for the under-23s the other day, I questioned on our pre-match show whether he'd actually get in. He actually played about 60-odd minutes or so.
Yeah, he was the sub
before being replaced by Reece Nelson, but we'll get to him in just a second. So that's where we are. We're 1-0 after 9 seconds, and then
so I'm watching a Bournemouth chance now. This is more bad. This defense is more awful than the first goal here. I'm watching another chance for Bournemouth. Good counter attack from them. I think they're spilling again. He was in almost 1-on-1. He almost passed it, and it was 1-on-1 with Ramsdale. Great save from Ramsdale there to keep. It could have been 2-0.
Ramsdale had a really good game today.
Absolutely. He kept us out of danger there for that chance. I'm watching
not just in this one.
Now,
not just this one, but there's a few more later in the game as well. But probably right about now, you're probably seeing the corner kick.
I'm seeing the VAR decision for handball. It wasn't a handball; it hit his elbow. So more of his.
There was about 3 or 4 of these handball questionable VAR decisions today, and not one was given. And do you know what? I haven't seen all of them. There's 1 or 2 I've seen that seem very close. Do you know what? Very, very similar to the Brentford game we spoke about, where you get. An Arsenal player get a contact on the ball, and the opposition is very, very close to us, and therefore definitely penalty shouldn't be given because of the proximity between the attacker and the defender. Wasn't a deliberate handball, is what I'm getting at.
Okay, because I'm looking at it now. So the beauty of watching the highlights on YouTube is that you can replay it constantly. And it hit hit his more near his shoulder than his hand.
Yeah.
So I don't really think it was a particular handball. So I'm not going to rant about how VAR has an agenda against us. Well, not at the moment anyway.
Precisely.
Okay. We're in the second half now. Bournemouth have a corner. Lovely header.
Yeah.
I'll give them that.
Near post header from, let me get the guy's name, Senesi. So literally, ball's coming from the left-hand side, near post header, unchallenged. It looks like
unchallenged, almost unmarked.
Unchallenged.
By Partey.
Everyone's fallen asleep.
Yeah.
No one's watching the ball. Unfortunately, that's 2-0 to Bournemouth, and we look in all sorts of trouble. If you can hear my little girl in the background, I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. This is so impromptu. I'm on daddy duty as well. That's why Posh is in that position, and I'm here.
Absolutely. And I saw that, and I just thought, oh, for God's sake, I'm going to have to do a live match reaction. I'm going to have to rip them a new one. I'm going to have to absolutely bury like all these players and say, and
okay, all right. So what else did I say to you on our WhatsApp group, Posh?
You also
I predicted a 2-1 win for Arsenal, right? So I might not have got the score right, but I had the faith and the foresight and the belief. That's what I had, mate. Never give up.
I said, rise above hate, etc. Wabu do. So I said, if this shambles of a scoreline stays the same, I'm highly thinking about doing an instant, not really instant because half an hour ago, match reaction when I get home from the Ebbsfleet game.
Good enough.
And I said, it doesn't have to be like our videos; it would be pretty much on the fly. And I essentially said, you don't have to watch the match to know losing to Bournemouth is embarrassing. But
it wasn't great.
No, it wasn't. It was not. But obviously, we know what happens afterwards. But 2-0 down at home to Bournemouth, that's not exactly title challenging, isn't it? That's not exactly. I was saying
wasn't brilliant.
You're not going to win the league if you have that scoreline, and this was really concerning. I thought if we're going to play like that against Bournemouth, I dread to think what's going to happen. At the Etihad when we go to Man City, we get ripped apart if we play like that. We've got
you're not wrong.
Newcastle
you're not wrong.
lost,
I totally agree with you.
You got Newcastle at St James's Park. We got game at Anfield coming up. Fulham as well at Craven Cottage. They're a decent team. Mitrovic banging the goals in for them. Craven Cottage will be a tough place to go. And if we struggle like this at home to Bournemouth, yes, I know we won, but keep in mind this was the 2-0. If we struggle like this against Bournemouth, this is not. You start to lose hope. And I know it's a knee-jerk reaction, but you start to think if we perform like this, it is unpredictable
against absolutely world-class opponents as well. That's what you're getting at, isn't it? When you're playing against the likes of Haaland and De Bruyne and etc. If this is happening at home against Bournemouth, what is going to happen in that crucial game at the end? They're
not Man City.
Of course. However, this is the thing, boys and girls, and you should know this about me. I am the eternal optimist, right? Even when things are going bad, even when we were losing to Villa the other week, I kind of felt that we were going to come back into this. And so even though we go in at the break unbelievably, Jeff Stelling said it himself, probably the most unlikely score in England right now. It's 2-0 to Bournemouth. I kind of believed that there was a way back for us in this game.
They achieved
it.
I didn't write us off completely. I thought I did say hopefully we can. No. I said I hoped that we could turn it around, but being 2-0 down, scoring in the second half, it was a huge mountain to climb. Thankfully, we were slowly climbing up that mountain because Thomas Partey. Oh, sorry.
So let's just go back. So we're at a half-time break. We have made a substitution at half-time, and that substitution was at right back. Benjamin White comes on for Tomiyasu. Possibly a better defensive player. I like Tomiyasu. I really do.
Yeah, but it just seems he's not been good at the moment, hasn't he? That
He's had a
error
rough
at Man
old time.
City he seems to have almost lost a bit of confidence after that error against Man City, which is a shame.
Yeah, I understand that.
Last season, I thought Tomiyasu was very good in defence for us. I quite liked him. I liked him, but he just seems to he's not got that confidence since that dreadful error for the City goal.
Yeah. I get that. Nonetheless, this is what Mikel did. Some might even say a plan B, if you like. So he's gone back to almost plan A, if you like. So you've got Benjamin playing at right back, which kind of allows the three centre halves to, or basically, the Ben, Gabriel, and Saliba to play as centre halves. It allows Zinchenko to go a little bit further forward. And I said, I know I did. I'm not going to contradict myself. Welcome, Gunner SJ, into the chat. Nice to see you there. New name. So I'm not the biggest fan of Zinchenko going out of defensive place into midfield, but that's kind of what he did. Also, with Ben at right back, he has a better understanding on that right-hand side of the pitch to play alongside Saka. So, and that's exactly what he did. He's got a good understanding with Saka's runs and exactly where he goes that little bit further forward. That's unfortunately where Tomiyasu not playing has a little bit of a disadvantage. So, quite quickly into it, I haven't got the minutes written down. I don't think you have either.
It was about the 63rd minute, Partey's goal.
Have you seen Partey's goal now?
I have. I just seen it. He was almost in the right place at the right time.
So it was corner. Another corner, by the way. Yeah. Something that has been a really, really good asset for the Arsenal of recent times. From the right-hand side, ball comes in.
Neto kind of punched the ball away only as far as Smith
a little
Rowe.
Bit.
Yeah.
And Neto was really complaining about this, by the way.
Right.
Emil Smith Rowe, I want to give a massive shout out to as well. I love Emil Smith Rowe so much. And
so do I.
And it was so nice in all blimmin' everything going wrong today, that the fact that Smith Rowe had a good period on the pitch today. He got himself involved in that first goal for Arsenal.
Good header to Smith Rowe, Partey, right place, right time, back of the net.
Exactly.
2-1 game
kind of makes up for Partey's mistake when he fell asleep for one of the previous goals for Bournemouth. And then we're thinking, right, we are game on now.
Absolutely. And it's worth noting, I've just seen this. Partey lifted up his shirt to reveal another shirt that said, I think it was like, "We love Christian Atsu," or something like that.
Oh, I didn't see
this.
Which
is, which is
that's classy from him. I've got to say, that's...
You only just see it on the highlight. It kind of fades away when you see it. But I just paused it and it went something like.
It genuinely makes me so sad because I'm of a generation who really knows quite a lot about him, and I was, I mentioned on a couple of weeks ago when they're trying to find him. My thoughts and prayers were with him and his family and all that sort of stuff, and. To hear that sad news, and let's be fair, that's bigger than football itself. Let's be honest. It's the whole situation that's come out of Turkey just recently is absolutely dreadful, and that's a really touching tribute. I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah,
thank you for telling me, Posh. I didn't know.
No worries.
Cheers.
I just saw it. Atsu, he was to me, he is a what could have been type player if Chelsea gave him more of a chance. Because seemed to be a very quick kind of young player, and I think if Chelsea gave him more of a chance, he's one of those what could have been players, in my opinion. It's just so sad. Obviously,
he had a fantastic run at Newcastle. Let's not forget that, and that's more important than anything we are talking about right at this moment. Particularly off the top of my head, his run at Newcastle. He would have played round about 100 games. I know he scored round about 10 or so goals. I haven't got my clipboard with me for that sort of stat, unfortunately. But I know he was integral to that Newcastle side that won the championships. When they went down, they came straight back up, and he was fantastic there. And he was so good, Poch, and he had so many skills. It's just a dreadful shame.
Yeah, and
Listen,
a class
that's Spencer. Oh,
yeah.
yes, I remember.
This team's going to give me a heart attack. I was saying this off camera. This game could be the death of me one day.
Absolutely. You and me both, mate. You and me both. Okay, so
anyway,
look, you caught me off guard with the Atsu.
Game on,
2-1.
2-1.
Game on 2-1, and very, very so. Arteta makes a brave decision tactically. I felt, and what he did. So he obviously because Trossard got injured very early doors, and ESR came on. He played quite a long period of the game. He decided to bring Reece Nelson on as a substitute for ESR, and he made almost an instant impact as a substitute today.
Absolutely. So I'm watching the second goal now. I see. So Reece Nelson, their number 24, lovely cross to Ben White. The referee decides that it goes over the line.
Yeah.
And a goal line technology VAR decision in our favour. Who'd have thunk it?
Absolutely.
But 2-2.
Ben White with his first goal for Arsenal today after 69 games for Arsenal. Wink, wink, say no more.
Absolutely.
So it was a great strike for Ben.
There was a joke about Ramsdale only lasting 9 seconds, but Ben White scoring in the 69th minute. Chef's kiss. But yeah.
No, not 60. I don't know if it was 69th minute, but it's his 69th game. So fantastic for Ben.
Nice nonetheless.
Fantastic for Ben. He's been so good for us. His impact, currently playing at right back. I thought it'd be definitely more as a centre half, but he's proved more than capable at right back. He's more or less left that position his own, leaving Gabriel and Saliba at centre half.
Sorry,
should we bring that comment up?
I've just seen Reece Nelson's goal. Oh my word, that was brilliant. Anyway, we'll get to that.
We'll get to it.
I think Vieira should have been hooked. Okay.
No, hooked, as in substituted.
Okay. Oh, okay. That's the first time I've heard that expression.
That's interesting.
Should have been hooked around the 70 minutes for Xhaka. I honestly thought Nelson was going to move left wing. ESR drops to Vieira spot.
Do you know what? It's really hard to say because certainly me, I've only literally seen the goals, and because of the significance of the result and everything, that's why myself and Posh thought it was probably a good idea to come on now, as opposed to Monday as we scheduled it. But listen, he's given Fabio Vieira some time on the pitch today. I think at the start, I think a lot of us would have welcomed it. He needs the game time. I don't think he started a Premier League game since our very last Cannon Chatter day on against Brentford.
Yeah,
and that's without checking my facts. Exactly, and I remember that so well. It's one of my favourite clips of the stuff that we've ever done.
Yeah.
So I think it was a very brave decision to play him. However, the way the game was playing and the fact that we went a couple of goals down, I thought, maybe it's probably a good shout to bring the experienced player on in Xhaka. He actually came on a lot later than maybe we thought he might. He came on in the last 6 minutes or so, I think. I kind of feel that he has some influence in that Arsenal locker room. He has certainly an influence in how they play, and the fact that he probably brings some sort of defensive, what's the right word, know-how in some way. Just a little bit of calming influence, much like maybe a Jorginho might have done. But he had to make. I think Arteta had to make a very positive move today, and he managed to do that, knowing full well that City had got a result today at Newcastle.
Yes, absolutely.
Can I breathe now?
The goals came when the team became direct home of the wings. Absolutely. And another one, I love Vieira, but he just seemed undecisive at times in this game, in the wrong places during the offensive attacks. Now, I'll be honest with you, Spencer, I did not see the game because I was watching my second favourite team play, United. But I'm seeing the highlights. So I was a bit surprised to see Vieira actually start. But again, we've got a Europa League game coming up, so I did expect to see a couple of rotations here and there.
Yeah, I did. I expected to see fullbacks change. I expected to see maybe a change up front. There's two things I failed to mention very foolishly as a host on the pre-match show. One of which was the fact that ESR firstly made a bit of a first-team comeback against Everton. And what was the other thing I was going to say? There was two things. Doesn't matter. I'll move on. Look, it doesn't matter. It's all good laugh.
Okay.
Go on. You carry on, Posh.
We had we'll move on from the equaliser. I think we had a few. From what I understand, we had a few appeals for handball. Or a few penalty appeals, but weren't given.
Four of them.
Four.
Four.
I know.
As I said, the old Del Boy Trotter. We'll get to the Ramsdale saves in a minute. But we had the so many VAR, and it very much the same way as the Brentford game was, where this is where myself and Posh disagreed a little bit, and that's perfectly fine because that's what debate's all about, right? Yeah. I felt that the Arsenal attacker was very, very close to the defender, so it was very, very difficult to give a deliberate handball count on a lot of these ones today. However, it was a bit unlucky, particularly the one when we were at 2-2. There's a journalist I follow who was actually at the game as well, who said that it was very, very, very close to being handball, had to have been. However, it doesn't count at the end of the day. No penalty given. However, right at the death, when things matter, listen, Bournemouth managed to score after 9 seconds.
Yeah.
We managed to score right at the death.
It's absolutely mental. So yet another corner. We're good at the old corners, aren't we? The corner comes in, headed away from the Bournemouth defender, only as far as one Reece Nelson, who the last time we heard from him was against Nottingham Forest when he scored 2 goals.
Back in November.
The handballs are horrible. I really don't know what handball it has anymore. They gave a handball in the Leicester game. When it's Arsenal, the rules don't apply. The rules are different.
Be fair. I'm very, 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 very insistent.
I'm talking about
other channel.
Games, not this.
Mate, one. I know. But let's be fair. Let's look back in our previous game where we had VA Arsenal.
Arsenal.
New subscriber to the channel, Jerome Wilkie. Welcome. That'll be 101 subscribers. Literally just above our faces here. 101 subscribers. That's so nice.
Excellent.
Thank you. So,
header away
with the winning goal.
Bournemouth defender. Only as far as Reece Nelson. Let me see this goal again near the. Maybe
honest
near
to
the.
God,
it was on the edge of the box.
The cleanest of strikes from Reece Nelson. Look, from a guy that has been injured for so long. It's just. It's one of them iconic.
I said, but look.
It's one of them iconic moments you look back on and you think, oh my God, that is the moment. clip me if you will, come back at me, I dare you. But it's one of them things.
Could that be? I know I was a bit negative with the 2-0, saying, "Oh, we're not going to win the league if we lose to Bournemouth and etc." Or we play that against them. But we won at the end of the day. Could that be? Could that be the goal, the defining goal? Because we have a lot. There's always a defining goal when it comes to title-winning teams. Could that be it? I said could. I'm not saying it will.
Look, so if we come onto this stream today, having had a 2-2 draw, I think I'd probably have a very different demeanour to the calm and collected one that I do right now.
If it was 2-0, if it was 2-0 to Bournemouth,
that's the daft thing about me. I carry on believing, and you can pop the blooming, you can put the voice note up if you want to. You know, I always believe that we'll get back into it.
If it did end 2-0 to Bournemouth and we did this, it would be like the typical, like the stereotypical, like angel and devil, like the kind of
you know it
thing. I'll show you the WhatsApp voice message that you sent me. Hopefully this works. I might have to just take my headphones out so we can hear it.
Yeah, make sure the microphone hits it. We can't hear you at all, Posh. Bear with us, ladies and gentlemen. Posh, you're muted, son.
Oh, look at that. All right, let's try this again.
Try again.
Okay, let's try this again. Wow. This is, one more comment. Reece Nelson's out of contract in June. Complaining his lack of wingers. We have Smith Rowe and Nelson. I hope we get to sign him. He's a good player for us. Be a good asset for us. As Saka,
Nelson's been with us a long, long time, you know.
Yeah.
And he's been waiting for an opportunity. And do you know what? I'm so chuffed for him. Can I give you another? As you're trying to get the clip sorted out.
I've got it.
Let me give this stat before you play the clip.
Yeah.
Reece Nelson has been involved in more goals as a substitute than anybody else in the Premier League. So he's scored 3 goals and he's got 2 assists.
And he's only played incredible. 2 games. Yeah.
And I am literally buzzing for that young man right now. I couldn't be more proud. He was
most unlikeliest scorers as well. Like
perhaps the forgotten hell end boy, if you will. And you know, I think maybe a lot of us would have forgotten about him being amongst the first team right now. And you know what? That wouldn't be totally, you know, what's the word? You wouldn't totally blame you because he hasn't been involved. But when he has come on in the Premier League this season, he's made a bit of an impact. He's trying to make a name for himself. And good on him. Good on him.
Yeah,
he was brilliant. Literally off the bat when he came on the sub today for ESR, created that crucial goal, and then to get the cleanest of strikes off the cleared corner, and he took it down so cleanly. It's hopefully it's still on our Gooner Gathering Twitter page if you haven't seen it yet. It should be still there. When he took it down, hit it so clean in the corner. My goodness me, I literally lost my stuff.
Naughty word.
Naughty word. I'm on daddy duty, ladies and gentlemen. So
yes.
But I am thinking the word that you're all thinking of. Believe me. Nelson is direct and his movement is clutch. Look at his progression over the last 2 years. Exactly what I'm saying. You know what? It's so nice to see one of our own that we didn't spend millions.
And millions. But look, I'm watching Nelson's goal again. Look, the limbs everywhere. Look at the crowd. The substitutions are running. Arteta's on the pitch as well. He was all the way on the other end. A certain man
So to quote,
is gonna say, "Why are you celebrating against Bournemouth? You shouldn't be doing that." Well, we won in the last minute, and it could be a defining moment in the title race. So don't tell us off for celebrating.
In terms of all that nonsense, right? That is called natural passion for the club that you believe in. It's called instinctive reaction. Listen, I have no issues if you want to play that clip when we scored that goal.
Of course. Gotta find it again now.
But this is what fans do, right? They react instantly.
This is what Lee said when Reece Nelson scored.
Never in doubt.
Never in doubt.
The previous one. There's one more.
Oh.
Oh my God!
That's the first time I heard that. Oh boy.
Oh my God! I literally, it's almost feels like Anfield '89. I don't want, or Aguero against QPR. I don't want to get too dramatic. I don't want to get carried away.
Yeah, you're getting a bit too dramatic there. It's not the last day of the season.
Yeah.
If that was a goal that actually won us the title, I would have understood that. But still got a long way to go.
So here's the bottom line, as one Stone Cold Steve Austin might have said, right?
Yeah.
Had we come onto the stream tonight, having lost that 5-point lead, I think we might have had a very, very different tone. Sorry, I just level myself up. There we are. Very different tone to where we are right now. I'm quite jovial, and me very, very much being as I am, right? I'm not so sure I'd be like this if we hadn't got the winning goal. However, the fact that it was so dramatic, it was so late, and it was such a quality strike.
Yeah, brilliant.
Do you know that if you look at the 3 goal scorers in total, right? I don't think any of us would have had that in our coupon for first goal scorer, let alone scoring at any time. Unbelievable from everybody. I think there's another credit. Yeah, here we go. From our good friend Matt Roberts, who's been very active in our group chat today. So we have currently got 15 goal scorers in the Premier League this year. That's unprecedented. The only one who hasn't got a goal is Rambo himself in goal.
Okay.
Absolutely incredible stats.
I know that the critics will say, "Oh, we don't have an out-and-out goal scorer." No, we have a team. We have a team. That's the difference. We got players.
Darn right, my boy.
We have players that can score a couple of goals each. It doesn't have to rely on one player.
Do you know what? I mean, we mentioned this the other day. The fact that Martinelli and Saka have both hit 10 goals plus in a side that hasn't had Jesus playing for an awful long time, and some people will be thinking, "Oh yeah, that's Arsenal finished." As soon as Saka picked up that injury at the World Cup, look how well, and I know he wasn't around with the squad today. Nketiah had his part to play. Let's not forget that. And I have been ridiculed and I've been criticised.
That was a brilliant moment.
And even in midweek, this last week gone by, he had an assist. That vital goal right at the end. They've managed to spread the goals around. Nketiah has had his part, but it doesn't matter who scores the goals. We have got such a squad right now that is so together and are totally on the same page in what seems to be an absolutely impossible situation. They managed to pull it round. It's just so nice to see. It's it feels like a different time for me as a as an old timer Arsenal fan, it's just like, wow, I have an untold belief that, and yeah, maybe I'm getting a little carried away
And
right now.
you've actually seen
certainly
Arsenal
wouldn't-
win the league. Whilst
Yeah,
I was
my
alive,
eyes-
whilst I was alive in 2004, I was far too young to know what football was.
Yeah.
So, you've actually seen Arsenal win the league.
You've never seen it live.
I've never seen it
Wow.
live. I've never seen it live.
Oh, I do. I remember
It's not
it so
because
well.
you're only 2 years.
literally-
You're only 2 years older than me. You're 24. So,
Thanks, mate.
mm.
Love you, Posh. But I do remember it. I do remember it like it was yesterday, and that I remember literally seeing Steve Ball play that ball to Tony Adams against Everton all them years ago. I can see it now, and that was a special time. And this is a special generation of Arsenal players. I'm wearing tonight. I am wearing a retro shirt commemorating our last season at Highbury.
Yeah. When
I
we
feel them
wore
very
claret.
special times at that stadium are coming back, guys. I don't care if you want to clip it, and you can post it anywhere you like.
We lose all our remaining games, we finish fifth, and then we get, which won't happen.
Exactly.
Hopefully won't happen.
Exactly. But today, these games are what titles are made of. And forgive me if I'm somewhat emotional about the whole situation, because I am. But for them to pull a result off today after what seemed the most unlikely of results is just absolutely mind-blowing. And I love being an Arsenal fan through the ups and the downs. Today they've really tested. He was there. Did you know this?
Was he there?
Simon Miller. It was actually there working for Arsenal. He was working for the Arsenal.com today. Absolutely. But our audience are thinking, who? Thank you very much, by the way, Spencer. Thank you. You take care of yourself as well. I hope you enjoyed the stream. Make sure you hit the like, share, and subscribe button. Honestly, so we must be on 101 or so subs now. Incredible. And do you know what? Do you know what? As perhaps as the let me just do this. As the guy who sort of started this all off, as a sort of a random idea with Posh, and saying, look, we had a blast doing Canon Chatter, and shall we see what happens if we do our own thing? And the fact that we've managed to get in such a short time to get to 100 plus subs through the hard work, not just of me doing my thing. Posh has been an amazing guy as a co-host, through Sam, through Matt, and the wonderful Fran, Senior Sketches, if you will, or Golazzo, really helping us out. I'm so grateful for all these guys doing their thing and getting us up to this landmark. They're an incredible bunch of people. I'm so glad that I've got them around with me. I wouldn't be anywhere near this landmark without them.
You got me emotional now. I thank you so much. I mean, I love doing this. This is fantastic, and I'll echo everything you just said. I mean, you're getting me emotional, which is not a good thing, because I'm tired and confused as an Arsenal fan right now. Being an Arsenal fan is so confusing, isn't it?
It's been a weird old night, isn't it, mate?
One minute I'm saying we're rubbish, we're not going to win the league, we're useless, and then the next minute I'm like, we're the best team in the world, we're going to win the league, we're the best players ever. Just look, I'm pleased that we won. There were mistakes. Mistakes were made, obviously, in the first half. We can't, and we need to work on that. If that was against Man City, it probably would have been over. It would have probably would have been a bit of a different game. If it was against Liverpool, it would have been a different game.
Yeah.
But I think we can't afford.
Hang on. Oh, let me just pull you up there. Liverpool rubbish.
They're going back. They've come back a little bit.
I'm joking.
And
I literally thought I'd just make it.
Considering we've beaten them, they've beaten us like 4-0 at Anfield the past 3 or so years. That's not.
So I was just, my facial expressions were Southampton really needed to score a second goal there. So if you want to keep on going for another 5 minutes, so that will come to the end of the match at St Mary's.
Look, as I was saying, we can't afford to make those mistakes that we did against Bournemouth against teams like Man City, because they will be a much more harder team to come back from. So I'm obviously, at the end of the day, I'm very pleased that we won, and we have the drive and the passion to win, and to come back from 2-0 down, no matter who we're playing, is fantastic. And in the last chance of the game as well, what more can you want?
Well, it's not quite. It wasn't quite, because there was a double save that we haven't mentioned from Ramsdale. It might not be in the highlight package.
It wasn't in the highlights, so I didn't. Like Arsene Wenger, I didn't see it. So.
Well, I'm not quite sure if I saw it.
I'm pleased, and I love Ramsdale. He's a great goalkeeper, and I'm pleased he's been making saves.
It's not just as for me as a great goalkeeper, as a personality as well. Oh my goodness me, is someone that I absolutely have taken to my heart. Do you know, I'm one of the few. Let me just sort of take that away. One of the very, very few who, as maybe a YouTuber, etc., whatever you want to call me, I'll be called worse.
Global sensation.
Yeah, exactly.
Global Gooner gathering sensation. Anyway.
Thanks, mate. Much love. When Ramsdale was, in at the Blades, and there's a little bit of that speculation coming around that, he might sign for Arsenal. I thought that would be a fantastic signing for us. The amount of saves that he had in a side that was really struggling. So you bear in mind, that you can't do much about the 4 or 5 people that are in front of you. But he was sensational for the Blades, and his personality is absolutely shone through. Honestly, he's the guy for such a young age as a goalkeeper as well. He shows so much promise. This is literally just the start for him. He's going to absolutely blossom. He's going to be fantastic for a long time in that Arsenal goal, I promise you.
Yeah, I hope so too. He's a fantastic goalkeeper for us.
So I'm just having a look at the time.
Okay.
So I clearly can't read numbers properly. So there's about 20 minutes.
58 minutes and 41 seconds.
Exactly. So, is there anything else you want to bring up?
5 points clear at the top of the league again in a game that definitely wasn't stressful at all. Let's keep going. Every game is like a cup final for us now. I think someone said that in one of our chats. We've got Europa League coming up.
Talking of cup finals, there is a very, very important cup final for the ladies' team tomorrow. It's Arsenal versus Chelsea in what they call the Conti Cup final. It's the League Cup final for the ladies' side. I believe it's on the BBC tomorrow. I'm not going to be able to cover it because I'm otherwise engaged. Make sure you watch it, and make sure we'll be screaming our hearts out. I know I will. And maybe, listen, we kind of plan to go live on Monday. Maybe if I can get the guys together, we can kind of talk about that a little bit. I know Matt and Sam are going to be at the game itself at Crystal Palace on Sunday. Massive stadium for the ladies to go to as well.
Yeah,
should be good. And in all fairness, certainly how Chelsea are playing at the moment, I'll definitely make them maybe favourites. But Arsenal in cup competitions, who knows? And Man City showed last year when they picked up this very trophy, they showed a bit of momentum going forward for the rest of their league campaign. So who knows? Hopefully we can get our form back together and maybe get up to them Champions League positions at the very least.
Absolutely. I hope Arsenal win, and hopefully it won't be the only trophy we will see Arsenal, a team of any gender, win this season. Hopefully,
Absolutely.
fingers crossed.
So we will come back on Gooner Gathering this week. We will certainly have a chat, maybe do a pre-match sort of chat about starting lineups and etc. like that. Our thoughts on the game coming up in game against Lisbon in Portugal this week. It's a 5:45 kickoff, boys and girls. There is a chance. This isn't finalised yet. We might cover it live if this young man and Fran want to get together. They might do it because I know Fran might be up for it because she said she's done the live match today for Newcastle. Newcastle's losing F against Man City. I'm very happy for you guys to do it because I haven't got BT. So we'll see.
I'm sure if she's up for it, that could be arranged. Yeah, I think it's an important game to cover as well. So I think it's and we've not done a chat along in blooming ages. So
do you know what? Yeah, definitely. And that's another discussion entirely, isn't it? That's very much down to the fact that the TV games over the last couple of weeks haven't been for the Arsenal. But that's another story for another day.
I'm going to send you some money. You can get BT Sport. I'm going to pay it for you.
If you could, that'd be lovely.
And if I can afford anything, it's fine.
Do you know what? And if anyone else in the chat wants to donate any money to Gooner Gathering,
please give generously.
Yeah, absolutely. It's what everyone wants, as the chat totally goes. we are literally joking with you all. Listen, we love doing this, and without everybody in the chat and without all the subscribers and all that sort of stuff, it wouldn't be quite the same, would it? So I think this is probably a decent place to end our stream for this evening. Thank you everybody for joining us on our impromptu review of a standard kick in the park, if you will, against Bournemouth today.
About with the boys.
Exactly. We appreciate every single one of yours. Posh, would you like to do your socials, mate?
Yeah, absolutely. There we go. Thank you. So I'm on Twitter at PoshBertie, where lots of lovely people interact with me, like today. You can also follow us all at Gooner Gathering.
Absolutely. You can find me at Goonerly Meads as well. And as I said, from me, just thank you everyone who's jumped in today. This was somewhat impromptu, and you know what? I'm glad we've done it because we've got it out there when the iron's hot, as it will. Yeah. So thank you very much, Posh Bertie, for joining us today.
No worries.
Thank you for hosting, and we will see you all whenever we surface next. We'll see you later. Take care.
See you later. Bye.